That is the interior of the 16i has come out. That's what I've just seen on social media. I think we need to go and have a look at that, don't we? It seems, here's a post actually. Here is a post. Jason, what's happening? Focus. What's happening? Oh my God, what's happening? Wow, we need to go to Jason's. We're so professional right now. Where do we start? So here we are back with Jason. Hello, Jason.
Yo.
The 16i, as you can see, is bagged up. You remember that from the last video.
And then I debagged it.
Yeah.
Well, I kind of ripped it open.
Yeah, it's been ripped open because, well, as you saw from the social media posts,
A man came. Our man that does our secret squirrel club welding. He's basically Pete. We'll just call him Pete.
Pete the man.
Pete the man who.
His cars have been on this. Sorry to.
Yeah.
His cars have been on this channel before. I'm not going to say which ones they are.
Yeah.
But they've been on before.
But he did the Fiesta, the white Fiesta.
Yeah.
Anyway, he's Pete the man, and we're his family mates. So he's coming down. He does all my non-profit stuff. So this is for me.
Yeah.
So he's coming down. Come down and have a look at it. And it's like, you've got to get all that bloody interior out, is what he said to me. So, it needs some welding.
Let's take you around the back.
Yeah, so the carpet's out.
The carpet's out, the gear knob's out, everything's out.
Everything's out.
Everything's
so
out.
We found some small areas of corrosion, as aforementioned in the last video, on the floor. Now, they're this big, right? So, me being me, you know, we've got just to weld that up.
Yes.
So last night I came down after work in the later hours, and obviously it only takes an hour and a half to take the inside of this car apart. It's like a giant Meccano set. So out it came, and I was greeted with some very odd materials, which we'll put in the video now.
Yeah.
Basically,
Insert shot now.
I've kept a bit of it.
Here it is in the corner.
Essentially, what it was some Hessian sound deadening, not of the Ford variety, that they had tarmacked to the floor of the car.
Enter tarmac mode.
And I've never seen
anything quite
like it. This was the only bit of sound deadening that came out of the vehicle intact. So this was not glued down, because I think they run out of glue.
Yeah, run out of glue.
They were like, yeah, don't worry about that, lads, we've run out. Oh, we'll just put this back in normally then. Combine that with years of water leaks, and then me thinking I was really smart, putting some UV lamps underneath it and heating it up, I turned it into a gooey mess. And the gooeyest mess you've ever seen. Right. And it was 9:30 last night, and a couple of lads in a neighbouring unit come over, as we do, chat shit, have a cup of tea, look at the car. And he go, I've got just a tool for that. I went, have you really? Fantastic news. Come this way, show me how that tool works. He's in there. I said, that looks like a job for you, young man. And 2:15 this morning, this is what he sent me.
2:15?
Insert text message from young man Tyler, who's building, who's had a car on your channel.
Yeah.
Tyler.
Yeah.
So yeah, Tyler came along and said this: never ever am I doing this again. And that was at 2:04.
2 o'clock in the morning.
2:04 a.m. of which he sent me this 1 second video of what he'd removed, and said there's this bit left to do.
That's insane.
Yeah, I've got this far, but I'm knackered now. My back's killing me. He's like 20.
Not surprised.
Only the 2 footwells to do for the main part. What a fantastic chap.
What a lad.
That's what Ford life is about. They're working on some Fords over there. They've come over. They've lent a hand. Fantastic. So here we are. So now we've exposed 3/4 of the floor. We know that this is solid because we've seen it from underneath. We knew there was a bit of corrosion there, which we are going to deal with. And we also know there's some corrosion over in the footwell, which we saw from underneath. Other than that, though, it's bloody good.
Right, yes.
It's bloody good.
Could we just point out how, yes, everything's been taken off, but how actual lovely the metal is?
Yeah.
Like, there's not a lot of Escorts or cars from the 80s that will have a floor like that. That is insane.
And it is actually factory there has not been any patches on that floor. There's none. So
Done bloody well there.
it's done really well. Look at the inner sills.
Yeah, they're really good along there.
That is the original. And you know, if they hadn't have used that tarmacked material, it would have all looked like that under there, because there was a couple of patches that they'd missed.
Yeah.
And they came up really nice. So in for a penny, in for a pound. Here we are. We've got the rest of the interior to take out because it was very late last night.
Yeah.
We've got to take all the door cards out, probably the dashboard out, and then we're going to go from the bulkhead back and repaint from rear seals, rear boot well, right the way forwards, acid etch, 2K white, sound deadening pads of the smaller factory variety, the little squares, because that's really in fact all you need. And I'm not going to put this back in, because putting this back in, if you were to have a water leak and you didn't know because it ran down through a sunroof drain like they do, then you're going to have the same problem again.
Yes.
Now this car did not rust from the outside, it has rusted from the inside. Now the outside was the underseal, you would have just, most people would have just left it. Not me. I've took it off because I wanted to see what was going on. This was going on. And that corner, I can tell the story. This car, I reckon, for a long time was sat like that, and the water has just collected this side, in that corner, on a hill. I reckon that's what's happened. And then finally, they found that years ago.
Yeah.
Oh, we'll just clean that up. Fair enough. They did a pretty reasonable job, to be fair, because they didn't have to weld it. They just preserved it. There is a lot of wax oil still on the floor that was probably not factory but part of the Z-bind process that they've sprayed in. So it's a mixture of things going on. Ultimately, it's got to be stripped back, it's got to be painted, and the little small repairs have got to happen. So yeah, there's that.
So we're talking about escalation here, aren't we? So it did start with an engine swap, and now we're here, and that's cars.
Yeah.
It's cars for you, that is.
I'm not trying to recreate the last car, but it's going down that avenue, and having done one with Martin before, and Jimmy and co, we kind of, well, we need to order that. Yeah, you get them clips. Oh, we need those handbrake cables. Oh, we need those parts. That bush kit. It's all really simple because you just remember. So my eBay purchase list now is just parts
that you actually.
And we'll do another video, and I'll get all the new pieces out on the floor. No, it's been done to death, this has, but whether people have seen the process before, that's what we're doing. We're just showing people what we're doing. And we'll see how the car looks afterwards. At this point, you know, you could arguably say, right, let's just paint the whole thing. You know, it's in a shell. But
you are very close to that, if I'm honest.
The paint is not anywhere near bad enough to warrant doing that. So I think at the moment we're going to concentrate on corrosion prevention, and then finally finished article, paint on the top of the floor, paint on the underside of the floor after all the repairs have taken place, and then reassemble. So obviously we've still got the engine down at George's. That will be coming back here once he's completed that. We'll do another video on the build of the engine, so we'll put all the gaskets on, we'll put all the inlet panel on. It will just be nice on the engine stand, ready to go, and just put in a corner for now. And then we'll hopefully, at the moment I'm spending many evenings just going home and going, yeah, need one of them. On eBay, not really taking notice of the television, and just keep going. And thank God for eBay. And obviously other Ford enthusiasts, people that I've been asking some information, because the differences between a 1600i and a Series 1 are actually vast. So I know the RAL code for the suspension on a Series 1. I didn't know what it was for this car. So they're the questions that I'm asking, and I'm trying to create a factory looking shell with a factory looking suspension setup with some more go juice. That's basically where we're going.
Yeah, nice.
And then if I ever do revert back to the 600i engine, once that's been, the time's been had for that to be pulled apart and restored and put back together nicely, then yeah, if the car goes for sale, there's the original power plant, there it is in a box, ready to go. Here's the car. But I guarantee you're not going to put that engine back in it once you've driven it with the blower attached.
So as we have a coffee after the video, I'd like to thank you all for watching. Thank you to Jason again for letting us come down and poke our noses in with his ever-changing vehicle. Cheers, mate.